Hello, my name is Emily Stahl, and I will be speaking about my Family and Community Health Initiative project. And my indicator is the emotional regulation skills in children. The human mind is something researchers, even today, struggle to fully understand as its complexity is beyond our current technology. The early developmental stages of the brain in a child make for a very emotional and confusing first decade of life. Being a social species, humans stay with their parents for most of their lives and as a result learn their patterns of behavior. Emotional regulation, however, is nearly impossible for an infant, but as they grow and develop, so does the skill. However, it is not just physical development that aids in the cultivation of emotional regulation. It is the relationship between a child and their parents that can alter the development of emotional regulation in a child, therefore impeding the future of said child. Methodology. So my participants would include young families in the Greenville community. I would use informed consent form, a demographic questionnaire, and an experimental questionnaire. The experimental questionnaire would be 3 sections, one being the cognitive emotional regulation questionnaire, the second being the parenting style questionnaire, and the third being the family environment skill. My hypothesis is as stated. If familial relationships between parent and child improve, a positive change in the development of emotional regulation and mental health will occur. How will I do this? Well, this will be a community educational program and workshop that provides healthy parenting style alternatives and works to aid children in regulating emotions through a healthy familial relationship. I will make contact with these families through flyers hung around town, in schools, and the school district will send out emails to all parents recommending that they participate. And if they decide that this is something that they want to do, they will sign an informed consent and then fill out a demographic questionnaire. This first meeting is when they will fill out the informed consent, the demographic questionnaire, and the first round of the experimental questionnaire, which once again includes the cognitive emotion regulation questionnaire, the parenting styles, and the family environment skill. There will be multiple workshops that happen within the span of 1 to 2 months. And at the end of all of these workshops, I will gather all the participants again and ask them to take part in the same experimental questionnaire and use the initial questionnaire as a baseline for the second results. Like any study one can conduct, there are strengths and weaknesses. I think that some major strengths include the use of the same questionnaire twice. So the first round of the questionnaire is really going to give me a strong baseline, and it'll also help parents and children see where they're at. The multiple workshops gives multiple opportunities to show up and take part in different things that parents can learn. It'll also, because it's a workshop and multiple people are coming in at once, it creates a sense of community. Some weaknesses, particularly for my experimental questionnaire, is that participants could give random answers, and there's not much that I can do to control that. There's also lack of participation. So maybe someone fills out the initial form, but then doesn't come to any of the workshops and wants to fill out the form at the end. So some potential family health improvements. There could be significant improvement in the relationships between the parent and the child, along with improvement in the mental health and the emotional regulating skills of the child. Some potential community health improvements. This improves the raising of children in the community. It sheds light on how parenting affects the emotional regulating skills of children, and it better prepares the children for life and social interactions to build on their emotional regulating skills. Here are my references. I looked really deeply into the family environment scale. The original article that drew me to this indicator of does empathy have a cost, diverging psychological and physiological effects within families, the parenting style questionnaire, and using the cognitive emotion regulation questionnaire and its validity. And here's my appendix.